Have you been meaning to set up a hospital? And you have been saving 200 million since 3 years. Who gave you that kind of information? Who told you owning your own hospital was that expensive? Hi there, I'm Dr. Rejoice, the CEO of Vestitude Partners Limited. Vestitude is a healthcare infrastructure development and financing company. And our major aim is to support private investors and intending investors like you who have been willing to own their own hospital but do not have a medical background and do not know where to start from. Our goal is to assist you, support you, and guide you on what you need to do to finally make your dreams come true. I'm sorry I laughed about the part of saving 200 million. Like, who even gave you that information? Setting up your own hospital is not that expensive. Given that, of course, some hospitals are quite expensive in terms of the investment. I mean, there are hospitals you need to build out to about 5 billion or more, but I'm not even talking about that. I'm talking about the lowest possible entry level for you. And when I mean low entry level, I don't mean poor or cheap. I mean something modest but still very sophisticated, still gives you the opportunity to render quality healthcare services that appeals to even corporate clients who would most likely be your major target group if you are looking at returning on investment faster. Anyway, so today I want to show you how you can use 60 million naira to set up a hospital. Yes, you heard me right. 60 million. And I'll be walking you through how this level of investment is going to get you a modest family clinic. You can have an outpatient department or unit there. You can have emergency services. You can have OBGYN where you can render labor delivery and gynecological services. Of course, inpatient unit like your wards, laboratory services, ultrasound, ECG, modest, very good quality family clinic where a family can walk in and the mother, the father, the children can afford to receive health services. And of course, I forgot to add, we can also render pediatric services in this particular hospital. I want to show you how we can build up 60 million. But I need to add a disclaimer, right? This 60 million will mostly cover the major medical equipment, mostly cover the medical equipment, some remodeling, licensing, which will most likely be your major investment. Now, if you want to do extra paparazzi with the aesthetics, that's on you. Don't say Dr. Rejoice told you you can buy iPhone 17 Pro Max for the price of Nokia Touch. I didn't say so. Again, like I said, this clinic is going to be a modest, good quality family clinic, but will most likely render the major healthcare services people will need when they walk into your clinic. I did not say you use 60 million naira to set up a clinic that can do kidney transplants. Didn't hear that one from me. So let's get right into it. So the major units we're going to have will be the emergency. I think I've said that before. The laboratory, the scan, the wards. Of course, we are going to have a theater where you can do surgery, deliveries as well, an outpatient department or OPD. We're going to have like sterilization room with laundry, and then also have things like to also capture other consumables, disposables, and some drugs you need to kick off. So for the emergency unit, we'll be spending around 4.8 million. Somebody would say, but that's expensive. I can go lower than that. True. But don't forget, the goal is not just to set up a hospital that people will walk in and they will not be impressed. If you want to attract good quality of clients, then you need to have something that is modest but very, very appealing and very sophisticated. So for the emergency unit, we'll be having patient trolley. We're going to put patient monitors, infusion pumps, syringe pumps, oxygen concentrators, and of course for oxygen supply. So very good quality and still very affordable. But most importantly, you're able to render quality healthcare services to the class of people you'll be looking to attract in this attract to this hospital. For the laboratory, we're going to spend about 18 million, and this is going to possibly be our major spend. This is because we don't want to use low budget equipment where people will submit, where people will give their blood samples and run laboratory investigation, and in 1 week they are still telling stories about where the results went to. We need to have some basic, fully automated equipment like a three-part hematology analyzer to make it easier for patients to do their investigations and get their results almost instantly. We're going to have a semi-auto chemistry analyzer, a fully automated electrolyte analyzer, and other equipment that you need for a good functional laboratory. The word I used was functional, not a laboratory where you do tests and results will not be out in 2 weeks. So you see what I'm trying to say? This is going to be modest in terms of budget, but still sets the purpose you want to achieve. For the scan, we're just going to have a table of ultrasound, 12 channel ECG, and other basic equipment that will be in the scan room. And we'll be spending about 8 million on this. For the wards, the inpatient wards, we're targeting 6-bed wards, some for male, some for female, and of course, for the female wards, we can always swing or use part of it for pediatrics. We're spending around 3.8 million for this. The theater, we would have to swing it, and for delivery as well, we spend about 8 million. But we're going to be using a hydraulic theater table. We will not use local low budget theater table where somebody will climb on the theater table for surgery and you hear one leg shifted. That will never be my story, and I will never do that kind of work. So we're gonna have theater lights, delivery beds, emergency crash carts, and some other equipment that will be in the theater. So we'll spend around 8 million to achieve this. For the OPD, we're going to have like the consulting room, the nurse station. We still need vital signs monitors, wheelchairs, very good consulting room tables, and of course, examination couch and all that. We're going to spend about 3 million to achieve this. For the sterilization room, the laundry, the beddings, we'll spend about 2.5 million and would have spent 48.1 million. Now we need to talk about your licensing. We'll budget about 1 million for that. Then you might need to do some remodeling work, right? Things like maybe partitioning, painting, and all that. We can budget 5.9 million. Now, if you want to do something very sophisticated, don't put it inside this my 60 million naira budget. We're trying to achieve something modest, but it works. Okay? Then finally, we'll be spending the remaining 5 million on consumables, disposables, and drugs. Disposables like your nose cap, face mask, all those disposables. And we can get a couple of laboratory. Okay, no, for the laboratory reagents, I've already captured it under the laboratory. And there you have it, 60 million. Now for the rent, I was very careful not to add rent because it's actually like a little bit dicey to capture rent in this situation. Because a 3-bedroom duplex or 4-bedroom duplex in Lekki Phase 1 can cost up to 15 to 20 million. In a location like Port Harcourt, you can be getting the same for 5 to 7 million. So I wouldn't know the location you have in mind, which is why I will leave rent to your discretion. Now, like I said earlier on, if you want extra paparazzi, that's on you. This my 60 million naira is for you to set up a very good, modest yet highly efficient hospital that renders quality healthcare. And you can afford to attract HMO patients because you'll be rendering good quality of service, and most importantly, you would be able to make returns on your investment faster, right? To Because if you set up a hospital that way, if you set up a hospital that will not be able to serve or capture the class that actually has the purchasing power, it might be a little bit more difficult to return on your investment because cash flow may be tight and you might be struggling every month to even balance your inflow and your outflow. But most importantly, I just wanted to show you that you don't need to break a bank to own your own hospital. Meanwhile, you also don't need to have a healthcare experience to set up your own hospital. Just reach out to us at Vestil Partners Limited and we will work with you and your budget to make your dreams come true. It doesn't mean you come and say you have 5 million naira to set up a hospital. That was not what I said. Meanwhile, I will leave it here for today. Thank you very much for watching Healthcare Investment 103. I hope to see you in our next class.